J to the A to the Y to the N to the A. And it's J to the A to the Y to the D to the A.
And it's R to the O to the N to the J to the A to the C to the O to the B to the. No.
Mom, do it.
Okay.
Do it, Mom.
It's
No.
N to the
Ah.
A to the and an M to the H, I stand.
Give it to me now.
It's
Do
the
the
A
two
to the M to the H, I stand.
It's Pop Daddy. It's Pop Daddy. It's Pop to the J.
To Papa Johnson.
Papa John.
So today we're here with Mama Johnson and Papa Johnson.
Here.
And today we're gonna be doing a story time about. I keep forgetting.
What is it?
It's like the whole process of like figuring out we had twins to when my mom was in labor.
Woo boy.
Why y'all saying it like that? Look at us. We're like
Cause
miracles.
man, this is real in the streets of Twindism.
One more kid. We had Jasmine. We said we're going to do this one more kid.
So we did agree that we was only going to have 2 kids.
2 kids.
Because we like things. So we wanted to have enough money to do what we needed to do and live the life that we wanted to live. She didn't even really want to have kids. I wanted to have kids. She was like, I'm not having kids. But then she said, okay, I'll have kids. And so we had Jasmine. And we was like, wow, this is cool. So we're going to have one more.
One more.
You can't be telling God that you only going to have one when he has a plan bigger than yours. But go ahead.
So we went to the doctors. We were about 8 weeks.
No, that ain't really what happened. She getting all. Let me tell you what happened.
What happened
We
was
was at church. We was at church. And we was at church. Our pastor was like, I received twins for y'all. And I was like, man, get out of here. He did say that. Well, because she was pregnant. And I was like, man, get out of here. Hush your mouth, man. Run into these as fast as you can. And we was like, man, get out of here. We don't believe that, right? So then we went to the doctor for the 8-week or whatever, the checkup. And, right? And we was, and the doctor was like, my wife was laying there, legs all open, right? And so the doctor was like, hold on one second. And so we both were talking like, hey, so we only gonna have one, right? And we was like, we done. We said, we done. We ain't praying about nothing like that. We said, we're gonna be done, right? So we said, we're gonna be done. And then the doctor went out, and what happened? Because I know what happened when the doctor went out.
So the doctor went out and wheeled the machine back in. Y'all know this. Papa Johnson don't let me get a word in edgewise. So
No, because she's not going to tell you the whole
story. But she
story.
don't let me finish this.
Let me hear it. Say it. I'm going to listen.
Wait, Will, what's that? You're having an ultrasound.
I know, exactly.
You're having an ultrasound.
She was having an ultrasound.
The doctor,
She about to mess
he's
up.
not taking tell the story
Go ahead.
right.
Go. First of all, I did tell the story
You
about
did?
the doctor.
Oh my God.
Listen,
Don't
hold
you
on.
tell 301
Hold on. The doctor first did the normal ultrasound.
No, he did the.
No, they did the normal ultrasound first. No, I'm about to tell you. No, because they went to go do the normal and then they had to do the vaginal.
But
They was like, hey.
no, that's not the way.
Go ahead. So,
That's not.
it was like this.
That's not.
You were pregnant with kids. Then they
All the people that do 8-week checkups are going
They
to
gonna be like,
don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if it was 8 weeks or whatever. All I know is they did 2. They went to go try to do 2 types of ultrasounds, and he said the lady was like, "I'll be right back. I gotta check something."
They did the initial checkup, which was not. My legs wasn't nowhere. It was none of that going on.
There was a lot of legs.
It was just.
They even had my legs open. I was like, "Why is my legs open?" Okay, go ahead. They didn't do that. They didn't have my legs open. I just felt like my legs was open.
So they did the regular check, and they did the over the belly ultrasound, and they saw they.
Was it something they put on it warm?
No. And they were concerned because I thought I was 8 weeks along and things seemed to be a little more progressive than what it looked like. So they had to go get a different machine.
That the legs was open.
and then the legs
Vaginal.
were open.
Right. So I was right.
So when they did
Jane, I was right.
check,
What does this have to do about having twins?
It's about to tell you the whole story.
Oh, I'm so confused.
of course, my head was at the top of the bed, and Papa Johnston was at the bottom of the bed, and the screen was facing him, and the nurse and the doctor. So he's dying to tell you this part. Go ahead.
No, I'm not dying.
Yes, you are. You just keep jumping in. You just be like,
I didn't say anything.
What's happening? You having
All I'm saying is,
what is that?
all I
Like,
was saying was, I tell the same story. Legs were open. They did 2
Dad, get
checks.
to the next point. So you, you see the screen.
Woman, girl, don't you run into these. Don't you run into these. Now let me tell my story. Listen, so they did the two checks, whatever. We was further along than they thought or something. All I know is the lady looked at me and said, hold on. I'm like, what she talking about, hold on? Because they usually put the juice thing on you.
The juice.
Yeah, right? And they go, hey, and I see something. So, when the lady did that, she looked at me, I looked at her, like, why are you looking at me? This ain't what I do for a living. So I'm looking at her, my wife just laying there all juiced up, and I'm like, what? They don't tell me what's going on. That is exactly what happened. So then the lady left out, and she came back with this other machine, and she walked in. It's some kind of jelly juice thing. So she comes back in, and the lady walks back in, and the lady looks at me, and now I see stuff on the screen, but I don't know, I never seen this show before. So I'm looking at the screen, she looking at me, I'm looking at her, and I'm like, well, why is she looking at me like that? So I'm like, she just sitting there like this, with the face, and I'm like, because I'm still shocked, you don't feel any of this? So she's sitting there, and the lady looks at me, and said, do you see what I see? And I looked at her and said, do I see what you think I see? You see, I see? And she said, I think I see. And she's looking like, what? And I'm like, I think I see something. The lady says, that's 2 heartbeats. I said, 2 what? She said 2 heartbeats. I said, I see something, but I don't know that that's 2 heartbeats. She said 2 heartbeats. I said, 2 heartbeats? 2 what? And she said it again. And she said, there are 2 heartbeats. And then she smiled. Like she was gonna give us, she still ain't give us no money. She still ain't help us with none of the kids. But
why
she
would
was,
she help us with the
because
kids?
she was so daggone excited that it was 2 heartbeats. My life changed in front of my eyes. My whole life ran before my, when I saw the confirmation of 2 heartbeats and I seen the 2 heartbeats, all I know is I went from here to here. My whole life ran before my face. I had to go to a mini, because
I'll be so
we was driving a Maxima. We had 1 kid, a Maxima. We were supposed to have 2 kids. Now it's 3. So my face just went, ah, and the whole thing. I thought about my pastor, like, oh man, you said this, and all this stuff ran through my face.
Now stop trying to be a thug. You know you was crying.
Who?
You, mommy.
I
told me
didn't
you
cry.
cried.
What the?
Mommy, you told me he
Oh
cried.
Jesus,
I
take
said-
the wheel.
I
I didn't
cried.
cry.
I didn't
don't
even
cry.
like him. I did not. Well, I really like. He's cute.
I didn't. Why did I cry?
Well, I didn't even.
My
want
life
no,
ran before my
I didn't
face.
even want no children. So
My
now
life
I
ran
had
before
to
my
go
face.
from the 1, and then I had to go to 3 children, and I cried. I got up off that table, and I cried
But that was a beautiful
for
thing.
at least a few days.
Okay, but I feel some type of way because I feel like it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, they are. But we cried. What Jada is referencing is, so
Happy tears.
I'll tell you about the birth. Okay, so the birth was a whole thing because Mama Johnson didn't want a C-section. Why didn't Mama Johnson want a C-section? Okay, Mama Johnson didn't want a C-section because we were very busy. And I didn't want to be on lockdown for a long period of time. So I said, if I don't have a C-section, then I'll get up quicker. My bounce back will be quicker. And so that's what happened. And so I didn't want a C-section. So these 2 were born, I labored twice. This one decides,
What
all
is
right,
she supposed to?
I'm coming, and she comes on right out, does what she's supposed to do.
What I'm supposed to do. Or the
But
twin that's
this
right.
little one right here just decided she was going to stay at the top of my stomach, and she wasn't going nowhere. So the doctor had to go get her.
Now, hold on, pause.
She
Pause.
pushed me.
I am the storyteller. I know the story. She's.
I know.
passionate about it.
I don't want you. I don't
I'm not
want
gonna.
him to
Listen,
tell the story.
I'm not gonna go all the way in like the doctor did, huh? But I am going to say this. She was transverse. So this one was turned sideways across Mama Johnston's stomach. No, you said she, when you read back the tape, you'll see you didn't say that. So listen, she was turned sideways and she was stuck in there. So that's what she means when she say the doctor had to go.
I thought that she pushed me up when I was in the lead.
Please don't you talk because you don't know what happened. She was turned sideways, transverse. And when she was turned transverse, the doctor had to go in. And he had to go in from the bottom and his hand on the top and turn up to his elbow. And then he looked at me like.
Because that one didn't want to.
And she didn't want to come down. It was 43 minutes
No.
in between the two of them. And they went in and they had to turn Jana like this. You see my hands? You see my hands?
I'm telling my story.
Yeah, but you don't know. Listen. She turned Jana like this. Sorry, because he's about 6'8", by the way.
He was very tall.
Very tall and
Very
disrespectful.
tall.
It's good that his eyes were
And he
closed.
turned and he grabbed Jana and he turned Jana because he promised her that he wouldn't do a C-section, that he would go in and do a vaginal birth because there's a lot of C-section going on and we just had a plan. So he turned Jana. When Jana came out, she was all beat up, face looked all crazy. They were very white, like very pale.
Wait,
like,
did they beat her up when she was in there?
no.
It was really
It was
good.
just y'all two in there.
No, let me tell them my story. When I was in my mom's stomach and it was time for us to come, I was in front. And Jada pushed me all the way to the top and hurt me and I turned sideways. And because she knew I was supposed to be older.
She really believes
That's
this
why after she went out and I was stuck because Jada hurt me.
stuff.
And the
Jada
doctor
hurt
had
you?
to come save me, and that's why I was beat up.
I would love to show you the pictures of that. Cause I have the pictures of how beat up
You
she
gotta
was.
find them, put
No, I have the pictures. They ain't no find them.
Because
I have
of
the
her,
pictures
she
of
pushed
them.
me up. She was
Her
like, "Oh
face
no,
was all-
you're not gonna be older. Trust me, I'm really older. Okay, I am older."
So listen. So Jana, they had to put them in car seats, right? They had to be able to drink the bottle on their own, which she struggled with. And they had, whatever was going on with her heart, we prayed and declared that whole health, prosperity. We prayed against it. But I had to sit in this room with Jana while she was upstairs probably, I won't say it, but maybe breastfeeding or something. But I'm in there with Jana, and they had Jana in a car seat because the kids can't go home unless they can sit in a car seat and keep their head up. So this was Jana in there for about 3 hours. It was shaking. It was like, it felt like 3 hours. They had to listen. They had to make sure her heart can handle the ride. So they put her in a car seat and they shook the car seat like it was a car ride. And Jana was like this.
Did she cry? Did she cry?
Did she cry? She was shook to death. No, they did her. She had the. No, they did her because she had the heart problem. You didn't have the heart problem.
Cry?
She did not cry. Jana was like this. Wait, hold on.
Jana, that's.
And they shook her, and then they found out that her heart was okay.
Nah, they did that to me.
And her heart,
They let
we
me go
didn't
through
do
that
it.
in
There you
Newport.
go, back at the airport.
You didn't have to
Yeah,
do that to
we
me.
did so. They wouldn't let you leave.
No,
Cause you were
yes,
this
they
big.
would have.
They were. How they gonna
You
let you
should-
leave if your heart? Her heart was fine. Praise
They
God.
made me
She
go
made it through that
into
ride,
the car
and that's why sometimes when you see Jana and she's sitting there going like this, it was from the ride.
Jana, don't do that.
Jana be like, she's just reminiscing back to when she was in the car.
He's so mean. But you got told about the time you cried.
I did not cry.
You did cry when they got sick.
You say it, because he's not going to tell the truth.
I am going to tell the truth. I tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but that. I didn't cry.
So when you have twins, you are awake for very long periods of time and often. So the first 2 years of their life, we didn't really get a whole lot of sleep.
2 years yard stress.
So one time Papa Johnston was working, but he was also coming home and trying, because he was a very good daddy. And he was trying to take care of them while they were sick.
Oh.
And so they had gotten really, really sick. And so they were just keeping us up like they wouldn't sleep at all. And Papa Johnston was just sitting in the chair that he would hold them in. And he just
I hold them both
busted
in
out.
hand. I had them both in one hand. Because you gotta hold them. You gotta hold them. Give me your shoes. This is how you gotta hold them. You usually have to hold both of them in both arms like this. And you just sit there and rock like, because when one cries, you're like, ah, and the other one, ah. And if this one start crying, ah, this one's soon to cry, ah. They were sick at the same time, they cried at the same time, they pooped at the same time. I might have had a moment.
Like a tear.
I might have had a moment.
It was an ugly
I
cry.
might have had it then, like off a good time.
Why wasn't you helping him?
But she was asleep, because she already was crying. Yo, listen, let me tell you something. When we had Jasmine, right, there was a lot of times we had Jasmine, this one right here, be like, that's my daughter, I got her, and she'll put her on the breast. Mwah. I tried it, but she didn't latch on to my breast. So she would take Jasmine, right? But sure enough, when we had them daggone twins, she didn't put them on the, I was going to say the other word, she didn't put them on the breast.
I did.
Yeah, I know, and then you was like, I ain't doing this, you're going to help me. And she took them off the breast because it was too much. And so I had to help more. I grew up. I had to grow up fast. I had to become a man because she didn't take it like, remember I told you, Jasmine, it's my daughter. I do what I want. Right? They having their bond time. Basically, I'm putting it together. They had their little bond time. But with these two right here, she was like, Negro, you helping. Get the bottles. She made me get, but it grew me up though. Because what we would do is, she would go to, I would come home, she would be going crazy by the time I get home, delirious. We had great godparents who helped us, by the way. Because when I cried, then they came and gave us some relief. Because I still had to work. So she, when I come home, because it was so much.
How is it so much?
When you have to stay awake and look at babies crying and you giving them stuff for hours and then you got Jasmine still wanting your attention. Mommy, daddy, daddy. Sucking on passies. So what I'm saying is, it grew me up because we had to really team up to do this. Like, she would go to sleep. I would come home from work. She would go to sleep. Then I would take the kids. But I still was tired. So we would flip back and forth. It wasn't no we up at the same time. I mean, a couple times we did that. But a lot of times we had to work the team. And then our godparents, Mama Quinn and Pop Warren and Uncle Will and Aunt Gab, they would do like doubles, like help us out. Like they would come over and take the kids, and then we would get sleep together.
If you want to hear another story, then y'all need to comment below and get this video to like. How many likes?
Huh?
How many likes?
What, for
I
another
don't know.
story?
I like you.
Yeah.
I like you.
How many likes, Mom?
How many likes for another story?
I don't know. 5,000.
25,000.
Oh, jeez.
No, that's true. I'm joking. I'm joking. Let's do 10,000. 150 likes.
Let's do 200,000 likes.
200. No, 10K.
Do a million.
Yeah,
Do a million likes.
150.
Y'all are something else.
10K. 10K likes.
15,000.
10K, 15,000
1
likes.
million.
300,000 million. What in the world? Everybody's shooting out numbers.
We're
Somebody.
gonna do 10K likes, and then we'll get another story time.
God for story time.
Follow me on Instagram.
Story time. That's
Follow me on Instagram at JYDDD.
like, comment, and subscribe for story time.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Ron Jacob 76. Follow her on this. Follow her on Mama Johnson. Follow.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Alright, Jada. Thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Instagram at JYDDDAA_. Follow me on Instagram at JY.
Follow me at JJ1DD1.
Follow me on Instagram at JYNNAA_. Follow us on Instagram at Johnson Twins with 2 S's. Go ahead, Dawn. What you think?
Go ahead.
Follow my mom on Instagram at Mama Johnston _. Follow MA Johnston.
Casey. Jojo.
Follow him, his Instagram at Ron
His
Jacob,
Instagram.
Ron Jacob 76, and spam him. Spam under every.
Ooh yeah.
Most of
Casey. Jojo.
spam under his
Run to these as fast as you can.
spam under his pictures. And tell him that he should change his name to Papa Johnson. Spam him.
Casey.
on his phone.
Jojo. Story time.
Nobody knows what you're talking
That's Jodeci.
about.
Wait.
Nobody
If anybody know who Jodeci is, comment down that you. So you're having my babies, and it means so much to me forever.